welcome. I'm Kristen. I used to be a flight attendant. This is Chris.
I never was a flight attendant.
No. If you don't know who this is, you're definitely doing YouTube wrong.
You're going backwards.
Absolutely. So we're going to go and see what Hollywood has to think about my job and talk about it.
If you're not subscribed here already, you're in for a surprise. This channel's going to blow up, so you might as well subscribe now.
Join the fun now.
Comment, do all that stuff. I'm going to be behind camera watching this show with you guys, so enjoy. Good luck.
When you hear the giggles, it's actually him. Yeah. All right, let's get started. This one is straight from the comments on the last video. I have never seen this film, which is an embarrassment because it is just quality production. And it really, really does a great job of truly representing what being a flight attendant actually is. View from the top. Gwyneth Paltrow at her absolute finest. Oh my God. I feel like this is what every flight attendant in any porn movie actually looks like. Big hair, big makeup, big hoops, tiny little 60s style mini dresses.
I'm Sherry. Donna, welcome to Sierra.
Oh my God, oh my God, those skirts, no. There is absolutely no way that you could do first aid, that you could evacuate a plane, that you could even sit in your jump seat wearing something like that. Oh my gosh, she has her manual out.
The windows are closed and the cabin is secure.
Good job. I'll do the safety. You go tell the captain we're ready.
Okay.
Welcome aboard Sierra
Oh my
Airlines, Flight 312 to Fresno. There are 3 emergency exits.
Captain, we are...
Yeah, he'll be fine. I'll poke him with a stick and he'll get at it.
The flirty FO, 100%. FO's first officer.
Matters into my own hands. Steve Bench. Call me co-pilot, Steve.
I'm Donna.
Call me Pilot Steve. Yeah, absolutely thing. All right.
It's just like a roller coaster.
You ever been on a plane before?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Sometimes it helps if you don't look.
True story. Before I became a flight attendant, I was actually a nervous flyer. I used to medicate myself before being a passenger on the plane. And it took about a week until I was like, oh yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm doing great.
So they're sitting in their jump seats, which are facing all of the passengers, and she's like, I'm doing great. And while it would never be this over the top, sometimes the stuff that you say when you're sitting in those jump seats facing the entire cabin, everyone's like, what did you just say? What's happening?
Shit!
It's just the wheels.
We lost the wheels?
No, Donna. Relax.
I am relaxed. We're gonna crash!
Donna.
Oh my God! We're gonna crash! Come back here! Where'd she go? We're gonna crash! We're gonna crash! We're gonna crash!
No. Worst flight attendant ever, right there. That's amazing. Even when something's going sideways that you're not expecting, you have a weird bump on landing, or the turbulence is way worse than you are normally accustomed to, the last thing you do is scream about it, because you might be feeling a little bit of oh fuck, but the minute that you pass that on to 150 people who have no idea what's going on, your day just got really awful. Ooh, this one's about the training.
10 hut! At ease. You should all be very, very proud. Means you've joined a very special family.
Obviously, this is a parody, but that's what it's like. We had a uniform standard that we had to adhere to during training. We wouldn't be given our actual uniforms until we graduated. That was part of the graduation process, where you get your scarf and your wings. We all had to be cohesive in the company image. We all had to sit there, and everybody pumps you up and tells you how proud they are that you got this far and what an amazing asset you are to the team of the airline. So yeah, this is actually bang on. And it's so cheesy.
There's an oxygen mask up above you.
They're all in like a mock-up airplane, and we have these in training. They're called cabin trainers. A condensed airplane cabin, and the panels open and the oxygen masks drop out, and the lights flash and smoke comes in it, and you have to do your evacuation simulations in these cabin trainers.
Before helping the people who love you, put it on yourself. Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
There's no rhyme.
First class. I want my hand towels. I want my little booty.
This is absolutely part of our training. We have to deal with like angry passengers, and our trainers sit down and they have the most unbelievable situations, and you have to calm them down, talk them through it, and change their perception of the airline. That is absolutely part of our training process. It is the worst.
Get those masks on! Louder!
So when you're wearing the mask, you don't have to shout things because that makes no sense, but we'll be like, with the mask, like, trying to tell you, like, to put it on without actually using oxygen, to yell. Just in case you're ever in that situation.
Just remember the HALT principle. Disgruntled passengers are hungry, angry, lonely.
There's a
tired,
great view
and a
of the
skewed
cabin
vision
trainer
of
and
the
what it
world.
actually looks
Okay,
like.
so that's HALTs. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, skewed vision. HALTs the...
This is such an inside baseball joke. And like anyone in the aviation industry has to memorize, I'm not kidding, about 1,000 acronyms. There are so many, and they change all the time, and every company has their own acronyms, and every company's reinvented the wheel with how their acronyms are going to apply to different situations, and that's what this joke is, but it's so great if you're in aviation and you've memorized a whole bunch of stupid acronyms.
Assess the window! Pick it up! Drop! Drop! Remove your shoes! Don't take anything with you!
Honestly, I know this is supposed to be funny and a little bit over the top, but this is very much what our training looks like. They time you. You have to run through it in front of your whole class over and over. They grade you on it. It's a pretty decent representation of what the training process is like.
Can you believe we had to refuel here? I mean, where are we? Bedrock?
Ooh, there's a fancy crew.
I love that lipstick.
Chanel.
Ooh, remind me. As soon as we get to New York, I have to go straight to Vuitton. Are those new earrings? The guy in Rome.
The guy in London.
Oh, thank God we're out of here. I think that I need to take a flea dip.
Bang on. Like, it's not to that level, but when you are like a smaller crew, a less well-known airline, all of like the truly elite airlines kind of go like this to you and just like, oh, that's cute, you're a flight attendant. And then they like take their designer suitcase and their Chanel lipstick and they're like, well, all 35 of us on this crew, we're perfect. And then off they trot. And that's fine, they worked very hard to be at that level. And then all of us sit there and we're like, one day. So we have some flight attendants chilling after
Clearly,
work.
The thing is too big, and he refuses to check it, right? So I thought, what would Donna do right now? So I politely said to him, either you check it or you deplane.
It's so funny. When you get us all off work, we just sit around and talk about the worst passengers we've had. It's absolutely what we do.
Say, Christine, do you have any of those little wings? Because my nephew's been begging me for some, and they don't have them on Express.
Let me look. Let's see what we've got in here.
Oh, she's got her little uniform purse with all this stuff that she's taken off the plane. Yeah, the little amenities kits. I have about 12 of those.
Thank you.
We don't really get extra wings, though, because those are earned.
Oh, we could do shots if you want to.
And she's stolen supplies from the bar cart. So clearly a top-notch employee. You'd definitely get fired for that. I know people who have been fired for that. Don't steal from the bar cart. So that when she like throws her into the cart and it wheels in and latches, those are actually what our safety latches look like. And they don't self-latch like that, but I just really personally enjoyed that. This show is ridiculous. The people just like, you would have the longest meeting with your supervisor. No, that would never happen. That would never happen. There's so much wrong with that scene. It's impossible. Okay, Gwyneth has finally made it to a fancy layover. We get very braggy about our layovers, and we absolutely lord the better ones over others. And when you'll like casually be like, oh yeah, so like I have 4 Barbados this month, and oh, you're going to Winnipeg. That's cute. Yes, so if you're going to Paris for the first time, it is absolutely a big deal, and you're so excited, and your crew's excited for you, and there's about 8 people on the crew who want nothing to do with your first time in Paris, but there's always going to be a couple that'll be like, let's go out, let's show you the best first time in Paris. Yeah, I mean, this is just a montage of Gwyneth living her best flight attendant life, but it is pretty much what we do. We just wander around the cities and get to be tourists with a local knowledge of the cities. It's a really interesting perspective because you go back to the same places all the time and you learn really niche things about those cities, and there's areas that you feel like you know like a local, and you kind of dissociate from a regular tourist, but your job actually makes you a tourist. It's wonderful. It's the best lifestyle. It's making me really nostalgic. It is really, really, really hard, though, when you're gone all the time to balance your personal life. It comes at a huge cost. Like, you work 365 days of the year. You work 24 hours a day. You miss birthdays. You miss anniversaries. You miss Christmases. You miss other religious holidays. You miss everything that everyone else values about life. It's why so many people in the industry end up dating within the industry, like flight attendants, pilots, why that stereotype is actually a thing. It's because we understand each other's lifestyles. It's the best. All right, last clip. I love how they shot this scene in the airport because it is the first time I walked into an airport wearing my uniform and I could feel everyone looking at me, it was kind of disconcerting. You get used to it very quickly because people stare at you like you're not a person. You are, in their mind, a symbolic representation of the world of aviation. That's why when you get those beautifully immaculate groups of flight attendants that walk through the airport, it's the same feel as a bunch of models on a catwalk. It's because it's so symbolic of that whole industry, that whole lifestyle. And they've done a really good job of showing the little clusters of groups and showing how the people react to her in her uniform. It's cool. And yeah, your coworkers, when you see someone, you don't know who they are, but they're wearing the same uniform as you, you absolutely wave, you smile. You don't go into this job because you like sleepless nights and you like eating cold food and you like being away from your family. You go into this job because you love to explore, you love to travel, and you're passionate about aviation and the experience. And there are moments exactly like this where you'll find yourself in an airport just looking around and being like, wow, I can't believe this is my life. It's so cheesy. It is so cheesy, but they did capture the feeling quite well. And also, it's such a small aside, but like, it shows her just standing in the middle of the airport and all the people going around her. And that's what happens. If you're in the airport in your uniform, people get out of your way. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they move. If you try to do that in regular clothes, people are like, what's your problem? Like, move. And every time I go to the airport and I'm not in my uniform, I get like, I want to say it's road rage because people don't move for me and people like, it's just you're so used to it because whenever you go, you're wearing your uniform and people react to you that way. And like the walking onto the pristine plane before anybody's got there and you're dressing it and getting it ready for everyone. Yeah, for the most part, flight attendants are always so aware of how lucky they are to be able to do what they do. as dumb as this movie obviously is, it does do a really good job showing the emotional attachment that we have to the job. Obviously, it's a parody. They made things more extreme so that it's fun to watch and engaging. I thought people were recommending it to me because it would be so ridiculous, but it does actually a really good job of showing the ridiculous training process, the ridiculous vetting process, the ridiculous jealousy and ambition that we have as flight attendants. So I actually really like this. Obviously, don't wear a mini skirt and big hair and hoop earrings to be a flight attendant unless you're doing it for a Halloween porn movie? I don't know. Yeah, if you like this, great. Please like it. If you haven't subscribed already, please go down, hit the little subscribe button. It means the world to me because I don't get to visit the world anymore, so I get to do this with you. If you have videos that you would like to see, leave it in the comments. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Enjoy, and thank you.